Hello, I'm Christina Lambert, and this is my Marp project about Quizlet. Quizlet, what is Quizlet exactly? Well, it's a study guide website. It's mostly known for studying certain vocabulary or terms. It was created in 2005 by Andrew Sutherland, actually. And he created this at the age of 15 to help him study for a French quiz that he had. It may have been created in 2005, but is actually made available to the public in 2007. Here is an example of the maybe one of the pages that you would see on Quizlet. This is a screenshot from one of my vocabulary sets that I have for my classroom. As you can see here, there's lots of different options to study. Most people don't realize that. A lot of them think that Quizlet is known for only flashcards, but there are many other options, such as you see here. There's writing, spelling, and more. We'll go a little bit further in depth on some of the next slides. So here we talk about the different uses of Quizlet. Like I mentioned before, the original format would be that of the flashcards. Learn is another one. Long-term learning is based on the accuracy of the student or person using the site. So whether they get it correct or not, if they continually get the same information incorrect, then they will be recommended a specific set to further study. Speller sounds pretty self-explanatory, but it helps with typing the correct spelling. So the word is said to the person, and then they are to type the correct spelling into a space below. There are now more game options on Quizlet, and some of those include Match, Gravity, and Live. These are ones that I use in my classroom quite often. My students really enjoy them, so I went a little bit further in depth on those specific options. So this, again, is more the original format. So the concept is similar to that of an index card, like we would use writing out terms, excuse me, terms and such, like if you were to study for some kind of vocabulary test or something like that. There's options for viewing the terms or the definitions, as you can see on the screenshot here. There is a play option, so it can go straight through the terms, and you can shuffle them so that it's not in the same order all the time. This is an example of one of the words that my students have. Above is the definition, below is the actual term, but when you click on it, before this is once they see if they've gotten it correct or not. Before this, it would show one or the other. Then here you can press the button to have it read aloud to them, whether it be the term or the definition, and then you can flip the card over to show if they were correct or not. So the read aloud option is really nice for students that maybe don't have such proficiency with reading things. It helps them to understand, maybe also understand how to pronounce the words that they are to be defining. Here we have matching game, and this is pretty simple. As you can see in the screenshot, the definitions and terms are both on the page. As you click on the term, you would place it on top of the definition, and they are eliminated as they are correct. So you want to clear the entire page out. You're timed, as you see on the left-hand side. There's a time to see just how well you can how quickly, rather, you can get it done. that is the matching game. The next option is one the students really enjoy, and there's different levels to this. The screenshot on the left-hand side shows that you can click on the level of difficulty. So there's options for easy, medium, and hard, as well as whether you want the students to answer with the definition or the term. So as you see here, these asteroids are coming down to the planet, and the students will need to type in whether you select definition or term. They need to type it into the box below to eliminate that asteroid from hitting their planet. And they have different levels, and they keep score on this game as well. As the difficulty gets higher, the asteroids come at a quicker pace, and I usually use the answer with term over here, where you have the drop down option of either definition or term. I generally prefer to use the term because then the students are only typing in the one word. Otherwise, they're having to type in the entire definition, and sometimes that can be kind of difficult, even if they are very familiar with their vocabulary. It's very quick paced, so I tend to go with the term option. Excuse me. So here we have some information on Quizlet Live, which is a group racing game. Students really love this, and it helps them to work in groups, and they have to be very collaborative for this. You can simply ask them. You have to create it yourself, but it's very simple. You ask the students to go to Quizlet Live, and they will, and by creating it yourself, I'm sorry, I should tell you that Quizlet basically creates it. You just need to make sure that you've inputted the terms and vocabulary that you want. And then you, as the directions say here, you ask the students to go to Quizlet Live, and they're able to do that. They enter the code that you have on your screen. And once they enter the code they have to put their names in, you have to have at least 4 students to play the game because it is a collaborative game. And once they've gotten that code in and everybody's signed in, they're then placed in groups. And Quizlet actually places them in the groups themselves. You don't do that. They're given team names, and they have to find their group. It's fun for them to be able to sit together because then they can help one another with that. The screen for the teacher is different than that of the student from what they see. As you can see here on the left in the screenshot, this is more or less what the teacher would see, and I usually project this onto the board so the students can see just how well they're doing. There is a consequence if the student does get the definition incorrect. So on their screen, they're having to answer whatever the term or definition might be for their vocabulary term. And if they do get it incorrect, they have to go back to the beginning of the line. So, that gives them the incentive to want to help one another. So it really encourages, like I said, that teamwork. It's very quick paced. Once you've done it the one time, it gives you an option to kind of shuffle the teams, and then the kids can move around and work with others, and it shuffles the terms up again. So they're seeing the same vocabulary terms, but they're doing the teamwork in different groups, and they're shuffling the terms up this time too. They really, really enjoyed this option a lot. This is my bibliography. So I got a lot of the information about the founder and just, how to simply use the site. A lot of it is from playing around with it myself. So, and then there are a couple of things that talk about whether it's a tool for students to cheat, but if you use it for what it's meant for, then it can be very, very effective. So thank you.